Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a very quick look back on the week that just passed here. We had some really crazy news coming up, or a lot of news anyway, and of course we're going to have a look at the YouTube swing trading portfolio that is actually doing fairly well. Let's have a look at the news first, because that was something that really moved the market. We had German inflation rates that is going down, not something that really moves the market, but it is an indication of what is coming in the Eurozone. Then, of course, we had the inflation from United States that dropped more than expected on the, I would say, normal inflation rate. There's a core inflation that also dropped, but that was exactly as expected. Then, of course, we had the PPI that was dropping more than expected. I've been saying that the inflation would drop for a while now, and that is because of the PPI, and we actually had a minus 0.3% in the PPI. That is a producer pricing index, kind of an inflation for the producers, for the manufacturers, and they are actually in deflation now, month over month. And of course, the PPI here, 1.1% for the year, which indicates that inflation will drop down here as well. We had, of course, the interest rate decision, and as expected, Powell told us that they were going to staying at 5.25%. They indicated, though, that they would hike the rate a couple of times more this year. I don't really believe that, but that is more to do with the inflation, and I think that the job market might be turning a bit to the worst side, and that is something that will give Fed the room to pause further on. And we can say that Fed have just been notoriously really bad at predicting future interest rates, even though they are the ones that are dictating it. They are just bad at it. So I think we have seen the last interest rate hike, but I could easily be wrong. Then we had the ECB interest rates that went up by 25 basis points, just as expected, and will probably go up some further. We had some retail sales. We had the initial jobless claims, showed a bit more unemployed people asking for benefits here. And yes, I think we had, of course, some industrial production and so on. But that was the major things this week. And that was something that really put a bit of volatility in the market. The next week, there's nothing at all like it. There's a bit of building permits. There are a ton of Fed speeches. They can move the market. And Powell is he's having his testimony to the Congress, I think it is, a couple of times, a couple of days this week, can move the market. But basically, this is just a week of Fed speeches. You can see Fed speech all over the place here. So let's have a look at the portfolio just very quickly. You can see that we have been going up here while the S&P 500, at least Friday, were going down a bit. Total return was 2.3%. Now the S&P is up 4.6%, but remember, we are only 40% invested. And gradually I will just add more and more swing trades. Of course, many of them will be closed down as well. But we have a max drawdown of 0.22%. S&P had 0.7%. We only started this at the end of May, so we can't really deduct anything from this. But I think we're doing fairly well with this. And if we are having a quick look at the positions right now, they are all in the positive. If we look over here in Tradingview, we can see that Arthur Gallagher has been moving up nicely here. And none of them are really in sales territory yet. You could say that this was a bit of a bad candle, but I will see if it continues down Monday. I might sell it and take the profit off. The Dentsply X-ray here, we're doing very well, and it is following this trend line that we hope. And I could easily see that move up towards the 41, 42 area up here before finding some resistance. The Visa is also, it is a bit more range bound here. You could say that there might be some range here. And if it moves up towards the 234 something here, I might sell it or sell some of it. Let's see what happens. And the Monster here went up nicely, but had a bearish engulfing pattern Friday. That is not very positive. We could actually argue that it was forming some sort of flag formation here now. If you don't know the bull flag, then it's normally something where you say, let me just draw, that we have a flag pole here, then we have the flag, and then when or if it breaks out of the flag, then you move this flag pole to the lowest point here. Let's just see here, and then this is the target area for the price when it moves up. But right now it seems like it is rejecting, and I am watching this to see if we can move up again or if it should be sold out. These are short-term swing trade positions, so that is that. All right, then I had two positions I entered this week on the option side. One of them was the Leonard Corp here. That was one where I bought the stock and I sold a deep in the money call option. I could actually have sold one here to collect a bit more money, but let's see. This one is, yes, that is the 21st of July. That is the expiration date. So if the price stays above the 100 area here, from now and until the 21st of July, then I am being forced out of my stock. And someone is buying it from me at 100, but that doesn't, I don't care too much about that, because I already got the 18 here plus $1.50 extra. Actually it was a bit more, I think. So that is the part I explained the other day about Leonard Corporation in the zero risk video, where of course there is a risk, it could drop way down, but basically I am aiming in about a month or so to collect 1 to 1.5% in most instances. So Leonard Corp right now, it's doing well. You could argue I could just have bought it and taken the upside, but then again, this is a very, very conservative portfolio. I rarely take a loss in this portfolio, and it is most months making me somewhere between 0.8 and 1.2, 1.4%. So that is actually very decent. I also just here Friday entered a what is called a cash secured put on Biogen, the ticker symbol BIIB, and I actually put this one the wrong place. It should have been the 21st here. And basically this means that I'm getting a premium. I got something like I think it was 1.4, 1.6%, something like that. I got on the entire position. I haven't bought the stock, but if it drops below 280, then I'm forced to buy the stock. This is a stock I don't mind too much owning, and if it gets down here, I can just sell it, or I can write some covered calls on it. I'll let you follow the process there. You can see it in here if we're looking at the BIIB here. If we can find it, it's coming up here, Biogen. Then we can see it in the TPI chart here. We can see that is in a long-term good steady trend. On a weekly chart it is in a good green trend, and it is in the oversold or accumulation phase on the daily chart. So I expect Biogen to go up again. If some of you want to get into Biogen and haven't been able to find the right place, then I think this could be a decent place to get in. You can see the overall stock score is 88 and quality and momentum is very good. Just looking at the value chart, it is not a crazy high value. You can see here that if it keeps its 10-year average of 18.8 in price earning, and it fulfills its estimates here, they are dropping a bit for the coming couple of years, then this would be a fair price. So it's not like there is a massive room for a doubling here, but that is not what I'm going for. I'm going for the cash secured put in a reasonable solid stock where we can see return on capital, return on equity, operating margins are all very fine. We can see the analyst estimates are somewhere between a buy and a strong buy. So that is actually not too bad. The only thing I don't like too much about it is that the free cash flow, the free cash flow has been dropping here. That is not the best sign, but let's see what happens. I don't expect to be forced to buy it, but if it happens, I don't mind buying it down here at around 275. That would just give us some more value upside. That's all for now. That was the swing trades and the options trade, and As always, I'll make these videos at least once per month, and then on Monday I will give you some new candidates where I use the screener here in my stock scanner. Remember, if you want to test this out, it's going to be free in the beginning and then probably some paid solution later down the road. But if you want to be a user of this, there's a link below. You can put in your email and then we'll contact you when the platform goes public. That's all for now. Take care of yourself and your money out there, and I'll talk to you again shortly. Bye.